And here we are, Relationship DIY Module 4, the last module, maximizing the process. You've been waiting for that last module to come to the front. Here it is time. When we look at the framework, you'll see that maximizing the process consists of 7 modules. Yes, this last module has 7 short modules. In session 1, it's all about goal setting. The question is, what drives the different behavioral styles when they set goals? Some need assistance, others don't. They know what to do naturally. So when we look at the styles, let's firstly understand the part that you already know. The first part is purely revision because this is how you would plug into understanding the point of departure. So with the D, what are they driven by? Results and challenge. The I, recognition and approval. The S, relationship and appreciation. And the C's, to be right and quality. Let's repeat that starting at 1 o'clock. The D's, results and challenge, recognition and approval, relationship and appreciation, to be right and quality. Let's now go back to the D. You'll find they want to be in control of the process. Is that negative or is that positive? Oh my, that is the greatest positive that you want to bank on. Your D's are your bankers. They will run with you all the way to the bank. Because as they take control of the process, they take self-accountability. You don't have to follow up. You don't have to beg them. They say, I'm taking control of this process and I'm running, which means they are self-driven. This is the most beautiful place that you can ever find yourself, and you will then find maximized results. That's what we're after. This is module 4. This is the idyllic final last picture. When we come to the I's, the picture looks slightly different. They want to enjoy the process. Again, a positive reinforcement. Because they want to enjoy their process, they make sure that they find opportunities for fun, they find opportunities to link with other people who are like-minded, and they make it fun, and the process accelerates. In fact, it now maximizes. This is beautiful to see that your D's and your I's, being extroverts, being faster paced, are actually a blessing for you in your network business. The question is, are we going to find the same when we go to S and the C, who are introverts and slower paced? Let's see. The S. They want to be in a peaceful process. Does that sound like maximization or not? No, it doesn't. Hence, your skills as a mentor or coach is now tested to its maximum level. You have to help them understand, although they desire a peaceful process, that is not always possible. Well, unless if they want a small business. If they desire a huge business, and a lot of S's are usually successful, this is where the paradigm shifting comes. This is where they need to be helped out of their comfort zone to drive, maybe like their counterparts, the D's and the I's. The D's who take control of the process and they run. The I's would take control of the fun in the process and use that to leverage themselves to the next level. So maybe S's, it's time for you to get out of the box and to say, I'm going to borrow some of the driving styles and tactics from either the D or the I. That way, you will maximize your process. Let's get to the C. In their case, they want to have time in the process. Now that's good, because we know that they deliver quality and they thrive on excellence. However, in module 4, we'll be talking about that maximizing of the process. That's not always good news, because they want to be so perfect that they actually lag behind. What a pity. So again, C's, you want to desire a little bit to go and glean from the D's and the I's in terms of how they do it, so that you can just speed up and do things a little bit faster. Because if you just stick to the way that you desire of having enough time to do it perfectly, you will keep on falling behind. No, we are now in the final stretch of success as a network marketer. Use the ability to drive yourself outside of the box, gleaning from the D's and the I's. That's how you go next level. Now, in terms of setting goals, there's a question. Why the question mark? Because the question is, how do they set goals? Is it right or is it wrong? Let's see. The D's have got this proper attitude of do or die. Let's translate that immediately as we look at the content that follows under do or die. They set goals and they work on them. What a privilege. Go for it, do or die. Then their solutions are always practical. Excellent, do or die. And they make sure that they see them through. Did you hear that? That they see them through. Not you pushing them, not you coercing them, not you asking them, not you pulling them. They take accountability. Oh, beautiful. So when they set their goals from a do or die perspective, you can bank on the D's. As I said, they are your bankers all the way to the bank. Once they've taken control of that process in their do or die attitude, they set the goals and they work them and they make them work. Their solutions are always practical and they make sure that they see them through themselves. The beauty of network marketing in all cylinders firing and running like a well-oiled engine. What about the fact about the I's? Now we saw in the previous slide that the I's were great because they love the fun process. However, in the methodology of how they set goals, we have learned that they are distracted dreamers. Unfortunately, they're not very good at the big picture. No, they tend to spend time on what is unnecessary. In other words, they spend time on all the time wasters. They get involved in things that aren't really important. In fact, their ability to discern between what is urgent and what is important is not always that good. And you find that they will waste their time and, for instance, sit on their desk and they will be opening mail that took 3 months to arrive because there's a post office strike. The post box had no post for 2 months, it was empty, and all of a sudden it's loaded. And they find themselves in a position where the upline said, please help me and set your goals today. But they find themselves distracted with a time waster like opening post. Watch out, I's, you can lose the plot. So in this instance, you want to learn from your D counterparts. They're a great example of how to overcome that problem by setting your own goals. I challenge you, that's obviously D talk. I challenge you D's, if you have an I in the neighborhood, assist them because you are champions at setting goals. Help those distracted dreamers go next level. They're your team buddies, make it work. Now let's go to the S's. They are the don't dare people. More like don't you dare. Why? They hate to be pushed with regards to deadlines. Now in this business, time is not your best friend. In fact, time can be your enemy because it's crucial that you operate with the flow of the momentum of where a team finds itself. If the team is running and rolling and right bang smack in the middle you've got an S that doesn't like setting goals because they don't like being pushed, they become their own handbrake. That is sad. Because you see, they believe that the work is best produced at their own pace. That might be true for them in any given situation. However, when we are in now the running phase, the final phase of maximizing the process, the S's have to man up and say, it's true. I do have that don't you dare. It's true. That default behavior that I become stubborn, yes, I do. So I want you to just embrace the opportunity how to maximize the process, and that is just peep over the fence. Look at that D that is so good at this and even say, I'm not too proud to ask, how do you do it? Show me. Brilliant. Lastly, the C's. These are all about the difficult decision people. They spend most of their time planning, and then they spend most of their time planning, and then they spend most of their time planning. So it's planning and replan and planning and replan, and the process just continues and continues, which makes it a difficult decision of how to set goals. Why? They want to be perfect. Everything must be perfect, the plan must be perfect before they take action. Unfortunately, melancholy sees this is not the perfect world. This is not heaven yet. You have to learn that nothing can always be perfect. Like we said before, your 70% is 10 to 1, somebody else's 100%. So stop being so perfect because you've become your own handbrake. Likewise, my advice to you is going to be, as in the case with the S's, just peep across the fence. Look at your D counterparts. You know, they might be the most difficult people to want to work with, but you are a team. Go and learn from those D's. They are running on autopilot. You want to find out how do they set those goals, and don't be too proud to say, hey, I like the way that you achieve your goals, and learn from them. Here we can see that the question mark about how they set goals becomes a question mark of, are they efficient, yes or no? Now we move on. What cautions do we need to consider when setting the goals? Obviously, there's certain cautions and there's certain tendencies, whether you're D, I, S or C, and these are different for the different behavioral styles. For the Ds, here's great advice. Avoid snap decisions. When you set goals and you make a snap decision and you didn't think it through and you didn't maybe mull over it, you can actually set a goal that is not realistic. You want to ask others for input. What? Ask others for input? You must be joking. I'm in control. Well, when you want to set proper goals, the caution is to do it incorrectly. Now, let me challenge you, Mr. D, Miss D. Do you want to make a mistake? Do you want to be successful? Do you want to achieve? Well, I think then you need to learn to ask. Ask others for their input, especially your mentor in your upline. There you go. If you can ask, you can short circuit that as a caution when you set your goal. And lastly, you want to set balanced goals. You'll find that at times, as a D, you will manipulate the situation and set a wishy-washy goal. Because why? You feel overwhelmed and you give a goal just to get your upline happy. Well, that's not actually effective if you want to maximize your process, because that's what we're busy with. Then conversely, you sometimes feel so pumped, so fired up that you set goals that are way out of kilter and you can even never achieve them. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you sort of gave yourself the task to climb Mount Everest to the top in one day. That's not realistic. So set balanced goals. So let's review again for the D, the driver. They should rather avoid snap decisions, ask others for input, and set balanced goals. That's the caution that they need to apply when setting their goals. What about the I? My recommendation, what we found is that you need to limit your goals. Set 2 or 3 goals so that you can force yourself to focus. Remember, they are the distracted dreamers. You are, in fact, as an I. So you want to limit your goals to 2 or 3 to try and make them realistic so they can work. You need to practice saying no. If you have a pushy upline that says, do this, do that, and they actually stretch your goals, and you're thinking deep down inside, they are not going to approve of me if I don't agree. Well, you're just setting yourself up for failure. Learn to say no. Practice it. In fact, you need to go to the mirror once a day and say no. And imagine that you've got your upline's face and say no. That will make you stronger, and obviously you can say it with much dignity and grace. Then you want to make your goals achievable. It's only 2 or 3 of them, but even so, those 2 or 3 may be too difficult to attain. Make them achievable for yourself. And lastly, make your goals fun. Remember, you are people orientated, so as you make your goals fun, it's a sure recipe for a maximizing of the process. So what must you caution yourself on? Let's wrap up. Limit your goals, number 1. 2, say no, especially when you battle to do so. 3, make your goals achievable. And lastly, this is the cure. Make them fun. You are the people person out of all of us. Fantastic eyes, you know what to do. When we get to the S, what cautions do they need to consider when setting their goals? They need to know themselves. So my challenge to you straight, S, supporter, phlegmatic, I want to tell you, you need to know yourself. However, you need accountability, because you know you can just sort of sneak around the corner and not set your goals and wiggle yourself out of it. Another way through the accountability is to limit your goals. So as you limit your goals, you've got a far more realistic reach for achievement. Can you see through the ambit of maximizing the process how if you as an S, as a phlegmatic, if you know yourself and if you actually respond to the accountability that is on offer from your mentor or supervisor, and as you limit your goal, when you set your goal, you have applied sufficient caution for the best chance at maximizing yourself in this process. And then lastly, the C's. Make sure your goals are attainable and measurable. Why would you want to do that? Because remember, you're the person that plans perfectly and then replans perfectly and plans perfectly, and so you continue. Let's rather swing it. Set a goal that is measurable and attainable and aim at achieving it. Caution, be willing to adjust your goals. There's a little voice that says, I made a mistake. No, you didn't. Give yourself some slack. Don't be so hard on yourself. I mean, goals are there to assist us and offer direction. However, goals are there to be adjusted if necessary. What does it help to aim all the time for the sky and you never reach it? Well, at least they say, aim for the stars, and when you hit the clouds, at least you've attained some measure of success. But in your case, rather not even aim for the stars or the clouds, rather be realistic. Look on earth, what can you do, and make it attainable and measurable. And if your goal is too tough, what do you want to do? Bounce them past your mentor or upline and ask them, do I need to adjust these, or do you believe these are achievable? And here's a huge learning curve for you. It is okay to fail because it's all part of the learning process. You are now at the point where you literally are maximizing yourself in your business as a network marketer. You are a C. You can't deny the fact that you are very meticulous, you want to be compliant, and the caution that you have to have when it comes to goal setting is just to make sure your goals are attainable, they are measurable, be willing to adjust them, and then accept it's okay to fail. It's all part of a learning process. So there you have it. Cautions when setting goals, very, very clear for the D, I, S, and C. You have to just dig into the advice that's been given. This is really next level, but this will maximize the results of yourself as a network marketer. Now's the question, how do we achieve our goals? The D's. Reevaluate yourself weekly. That speaks for itself. Adjust as you go. It's okay to adjust. Sometimes the D just has to smack themselves on the back and say, good job, adjust the goal and move on. Schedule time for relaxation. Cholerics, can you hear me? All the D's, listen up. Schedule time for relaxation. You are a human being, not a human doing. That's right. So the question is, will you achieve your goals? Well, only if you schedule time for relaxation. Let me tell you this little story of the two sets of laborers that were really competing in two forests to chop down trees from the one side to the other side. Team A got stuck in and Team B got stuck in at exactly 9 o'clock. Team A at 10 o'clock sat and enjoyed their tea time, and in fact it was so nice to rest they actually took an extra 15 minutes. Team B decided, no ways, we want to beat Team A, and kept going. When it came to lunchtime, Team A took lunchtime and had a beautiful time of relaxation. Team B decided, no ways, we want to finish, so they actually didn't take lunch. When it got to 3 o'clock, when they both were supposed to finish the project, what do you think happened? The truth is that Team B never finished the project in time and they actually lagged behind. What? Yes, Team A by far were the winners because they actually not only rested during their breaks, but they used the time to sharpen their axes. Question to you, when you rest, do you make time to sharpen your axe? You get it, Mr. D? Resting is good. It's time to sharpen that axe. And then lastly, write your goal down daily. Please note that the word write is in capital letters. Why? I'm not taking control of you. Not at all. I'm just stating the reality. You hate writing. And to be told to write down the goal daily, you must be thinking, I'm joking. No, I'm not. Can you see the topic? Do you want to achieve your goals? Question mark. Here we go. Mr. D, Miss D, Mrs. D, as a driver, re-evaluate your performance weekly. Secondly, adjust as you go. Then, schedule time for relaxation that is appropriate. And then lastly, write down your goals daily. That certainly is the winning recipe for the D to maximize the process and maximize themselves. Good stuff, isn't it? Fantastic. Let's see what the I's are going to do. Firstly, take accountability. Yes, take accountability, because the I's want to run from accountability as far as they can. However, if you want to achieve your goals, if you want to maximize your process, take accountability. How do you do this? Do your goal activity first thing daily. That's right. Sit down first thing in the morning, set out your goals, and get it over and done with. Because remember, you are the distracted dreamer. Remember, you have got vision de jour. You are going to be pulled through the next movement. In fact, if it sparkles, your eyes goes there. So yes, control yourself, come back and do the first activities first thing in the morning. Then, reward yourself when your goal is achieved. Like I said to the D's, pat yourself on the back and say, good job. You need to reward yourself when you achieve your goal. And also for you, write down your goal daily. Did you notice write is in capital letters? I repeat this because as you write down the goal, it's the best, surest way of achieving your goal as an I or a sanguine. There you have it. Let's move to the S's. How will you achieve your goals? How will you maximize the process as you achieve those goals? Firstly, do one goal at a time. Remember, you don't like being pushed for deadlines, so then just do one goal at a time and celebrate. But whilst doing that, maybe you want to set a timer for each hour. Why? Just to bring your mind back to focus so that you know that you're trying to achieve your goal. That alarm or that timer going off every hour is just to bring you to reality that you don't drift and not follow through. Now, normally we say that it's the I as a battle will follow through, but I can tell you now with achieving goals, well, you sort of slip into a sleep mode, and it's just because you are a kind of relaxed person. So again, the last step, write down the goal daily. Did you see the words write is in capital letters? Yes, I repeat that because even for you, Mr. Phlegmatic, or your supporter, if you write down your goals daily, you have the surest recipe for achieving your goals. Lastly, we're now speaking to the melancholy, the C. Chart your goals. You are brilliant at drafting charts, so chart them. As you chart them, you'll get encouraged. Then use gadgets and tools to assist you. You guys know the best gadgets, the newest tools on the market, so use it. I mean, invention was created in the mind of a C. You guys are absolutely the masters of engineering. Then, be flexible and adjust. What do you mean be flexible and adjust? We do everything perfectly. No, you don't. Not always. So when achieving your goals, rather be flexible and adjust. And if necessary, use your upline as a soundboard, and they might assist you to say, that goal is too low. What do you mean too low? Well, we understand how you work. You want to do it perfectly, so you'd rather set a low goal that you achieve it. Nope, you have to go next level. So as a C, force yourself to become uncomfortable, and here's the last step, write your goals down daily. Did you notice? Write in capital letters, because you need to write your goals daily, and that's how you go to the next level. So in terms of achieving goals, it is crystal clear. Whether you're a D, an I, a S or a C, it all ends up with writing down your goals daily. Bravo! You can do this! That ends session 1 of 7. Wow! You are now in a position to maximize your results. Your next session? How do you leverage the differences?